Hi girls, I'm jumping on here to talk to you about infertility, maybe from somehow slightly different angle. Let me just correct this angle so you can see me well. I was just thinking this morning when I woke up, I'm going to do this live streaming because I really want to share with you something that might be actually very beneficial in terms of the way we see infertility and the way we view things for those of you who are still on the journey. So hopefully this stream will be appreciated. First of all, I want to also greet all of you, of course, and also say that a lot of my posts are being connected with relationships, and that's what I've been doing for many years. And you know, not to confuse you, because some of you are asking me whether I'm still doing fertility, whether I'm doing relationships as well, and I am doing both. So that's the answer. I'm still attracting ladies who are on their journey towards motherhood, but also many of you who've got relationships problems, especially in terms of, you know, partner relationships, but really relationships in general. And these two things are very interlined, and as I go through this streaming, you will see why. So going back to fertility or / infertility, it is unfortunately a very common global problem that is affecting 1 of 4 couples globally. And yes, it's kind of hidden because people don't talk about it. So I'm very grateful I can be the one who is not only supporting you, but also talking about it very openly. As you know, it has been my long journey. Now I am a happy mom of 4-year-old. I can't believe we are 4 years old now. Little twin girls. And I want to share with you about infertility from a little bit different angle, because you know, we are all going through different kind of challenges in life, mums or no mums, you know, and I guess life just offers you the challenges, the hoops you need to get through. And I always been a big believer that the suffering that we feel, whether it's because we are not able to have the most desired things in life, that baby can be one of them, or anything else, the suffering is optional. I know it's really bold to say this to those of you who are still on your journey, but it truly is, and I'm speaking from my own perspective, and I have had a fair share amount of suffering on this journey. So I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart, because in one point of this journey, the perspective on the whole thing really shifted and changed, and that actually helped me to have my babies now. But going back to you know, fertility, I believe it's much larger issue than what you get from your doctor in terms of medical perspective. Yes, medical perspective is one of the angles, but infertility is from my understanding and how I support you on this journey is much broader kind of process, and it's almost like something is blocking your natural ability to create, in this instance, baby. It's very common that we do have a thoughts like something is wrong with me, like why I can't and the others can, and it's very natural, the uncertainty and the doubt, and a lot of times like depressions comes into play in this process, depending what stage of trying you are. There are so many resources about this subject, and so it's very confusing, especially if you start Googling the medical aspects of it. You can really get trapped, and I highly recommend to all my clients not to go that direction, because it's emotional and mentally challenging, even without us listening to the statistics on which basis then we can create some kind of story or decision about ourselves, e.g. we are too old to have a baby. Okay, please don't do it, girls. Babies do happen, and they happen in later stages of our life, not just when we are 20, 30 years old. over the years, I watched many women, and truly how devastating it can be in people's lives, not just for women, but also for couples and for men. And I want to tell you that you are not alone. You are not alone on this journey, and you don't have to be alone, more importantly. It's very, very important, and it's crucial to surround yourself with people who do understand where you're coming from, who do understand what you feel. I think that's maybe most important thing, because feeling alone on this journey can be very damaging for you, and the longer it goes, the more kind of damage it can be done, not just to you, but also can have a great impact on your relationship. And that's where I'm speaking about relationships so often as well. Yeah, so the feeling like everybody can do it, this basic thing, you know, to be a mother, you know, I'm not enough of a woman if I don't become a mother, is very, very common. And I would like to urge you and beg you, please don't go this direction. Like, you are valid and you are valuable as a woman just the way you are, and there is nothing wrong with you. Okay, even if it seems like, even if your thoughts are going there, there is truly nothing wrong with you, whether you're already mother or not. And if you're a mother, by the way, I can see some mums watching as well. If you are in a stage of your motherhood when you are thinking, my God, you know, I wanted to be mom, now I'm a mom, and I feel like I can't handle it, that's also very, very normal. Again, speaking from my own experience. And you're a good enough mother. You are really, really good enough mother. And if your kids are able to talk, many are still small, I can see mums here, they would be able to tell you, Mom, chill out, we are fine, you're great, you're doing great. Okay. On journey towards motherhood, in case it's not happening the way we would like it to, it is very important to shift the conversation. That is not about your body or about you not being good enough, but it's important to ask new kind of questions, like, you know, what part of my life is not working for me? What infertility is really about is your body telling you a story, and it's very, very important to listen. There are many other factors that are, of course, impacting you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. So, you know, let's say if you've been diagnosed with endometriosis, yes, medically it can be fixed in some kind of way, but it's got a root somewhere, it's coming from somewhere. It's no coincidence that this diagnosis, I just picked the example, has been, you know, diagnosed to, that you have this kind of problem, because there is stuff behind it. And unless we kind of are brave enough to look behind what is causing this, like with any other disease, it's possible that it will be fixed on a you know, on a top level, but really the roots of it, the foundations of it are still going to persevere. So infertility is not a disease, is nothing wrong with you, but it's a symptom of not so much your body, but your misalignment with a bigger purpose, to be really fully yourself, the way you can freely show up as a person, as who you truly are. That's what I believe anyway, and from my experiences with women as well. So being able to show up in a world who you truly are as a person, this spiritual being that lives inside you, and being fully connected to that. Now, that's not only important, you know, on a way towards motherhood, but from my experiences, it's very, very important in general for us as a women. And that's the base of creation for anything, is the base of creation for this streaming that I'm going I'm giving you, because you know it started as a thought this morning, as this urge to give, to share, to contribute, and I learned this for myself, just to kind of follow. So I trust that whoever is listening, that you are picking up something that is important for you to hear right now. So our body is really whatever we are experiencing in this present moment. There's just always a story behind it. You know, let's just think about a simple cold. You know, when we catch a cold or flu, there is a story behind it. I'm sure you had many experiences where, you know, the cold or symptoms of it has been just natural outcome of what came before. It might have been too much pressure at work, you had something emotionally draining that happened to you, or you just, burning out and immune system went down, and so you are more prone to disease, and cold can be one of the things that we catch, and it's quite a good one because it goes in 7 days. So it's important to start getting curious. Like, what is going on with me emotionally, spiritually? What is going on with my body? I really want you to use this journey to grow, not just to keep on, burdening yourself with the questions like, why me? Why not now? Why I got my period again? In this kind of blame culture that is not going to serve you. So, start getting curious, like, oh, what is really going on behind those layers and with me? It's quite challenging sometimes. That's why it's really great to have a coach, because we help you to underline those issues. Whatever is not working in your life for you is very interesting and very rewarding process for me and for you, because it's magical. You suddenly start seeing things that you haven't seen before, and creating the links between certain things, and then you get to the point where it will start making sense suddenly, so much more sense for you, and you start growing your consciousness, which then impacts all the results in your life. Does that make sense? Just give me a little yes if it makes sense. So how can I retrain my mind? Like, how can I don't know, move my body in a new way? I know on my journey towards motherhood, I literally started moving my body in much more gentle way. Like simple things, like the way I sit down, like, so I can feel my feminine, the way I breathe into my, my feminine means my bottom belly, my vagina, like how I feel sensually. Like, it all started shifting thanks to journey towards motherhood, because I started being much more sensitive, sensual, and kind of paying so much more attention to me as a woman. So when you understand this misalignment, which I dare to say I had it, and many of my clients, now mums, many of them had, when you start understanding this misalignment, like what is in your way between you and a baby, that's where you find the source, and you really find the key which opens the doors, next doors, and those doors open next doors, and it starts flowing. And many times, very naturally, the baby is the outcome, whether naturally or not. Also, it's very important to say that the challenge with infertility is very important, especially for you if you're going through it, very important part of the human experience. I know you will not like me for this, because I wouldn't like someone probably telling me this before I had my babies, and it's tough. But now, retrospectively looking at it, it was a blessing, and it was very, very important part of my growing, expanding as a human being, my humanness. I really needed this experience for so many reasons, and I'm now very grateful for it. With its highs and its lows, it's all very integral part, and it's shaping you also as a future mother. That's very important to say. Often these multiple things needs to like come together. It's like a big puzzle. You know, we all have a different story, different background, different thoughts, different things that are in our way. So we need to kind of align them. And the work that I do is that I'm, you know, helping you to align things. So it's nice little smooth ride. There's nothing in a way. It's direct access to what you truly want in life. And that really needs to take place in order for you to reach the goal, the outcome. Because forcing anything without, you know, raising consciousness and doing the work behind it, you might become mum in some point, absolutely, even without me or any kind of this kind of work. But then the motherhood, I dare to say, still is not going to be as rewarding as it would be, you know, with all the knowledge that this journey can provide you with. You know, you can recreate yourself literally as a human being in a positive and very rewarding way. And actually, regardless whether you become a mum or not, at the end, you know, you're left with being empowered, no matter what are the circumstances, and happy, you know, feeling happy and, more importantly, satisfied and peaceful inside. So if we agree that we are human beings living this spiritual human experience, there is a greater, deeper knowledge that is within us. And if we get that kind of knowledge, you will be very clear about why you can't get pregnant. We just need to delve in and dare to delve in and maybe get supported and seek out what it actually is. When we live in true harmonization with our body, things flow, including creation of anything, including babies. So everything gets to be easy and peaceful and abundant. There is a reason why we sometimes struggle. Like, it's a very important part of this journey, because that's where we reap, we learn, we fuel spiritually as well. And there is also a reason why we seek these things, like peace, happiness, satisfaction in life, because they are true indicator whether we are on the right path or not. If we are not feeling it, we are somehow misaligned. And, you know, people are being often frustrated by it in general, not just on this fertility journey. And, you know, they're trying to figure out, when they're a little bit more conscious, then what's the purpose, what, you know, what is behind it, and what is my purpose in this life as well. So you just, if you don't have it, you just didn't yet embrace the fact that it's actually enough to be you, and that you are valuable no matter where you're at in your life right now. It is also important to internalize it, like, deeply, because, you know, many streamings or books are talking about, like, you know, have your value, like, feel your value, and so, but you can say it even out loud, you can say it to yourself, but unless you actually internalize it, like, fully, you know, process and feel it in your bones and really live it for yourself, most importantly, is not going to live as a true to yourself. Now, each person comes with different kind of blueprint, and we are disharmonized with various things from our childhood, right? Like with comments from our parents, or, you know, events that happened in our early childhood, and it kind of interferes with our natural being and with the harmonized part of this blueprint, that it identifies actually why we are here for in this world. So I'm coming to this saying to people that globe is round and infertility problem is not one-dimensional thing. Yes, it's got a different angles, and it's very unique for you as a person, and it's important to approach it that way. Now, I'm going to talk to you briefly about 5 primary blocks to harmonization that actually doesn't allow you to get pregnant. So you can take a note, because I find this very useful. I finally put it into some kind of context that I can share with you, hopefully with a lot of clarity. So first of all, number 1 is that your body, and by the way, this is for ladies on the journey towards motherhood, but also in generally when we are feeling disharmonized in some kind of way, and when we are in a stage when we are not coping with something, or not feeling fulfilled, not feeling peaceful, suffering of anxiety, those kind of things. So feel free to apply it there as well. So number 1 is your body is misaligned to what it means to be a woman. Okay? And I can talk about it a lot, but I just say it's probably the feeling that deep inside, when I say deep inside, you're not fully embracing the fact that you are a woman in this modern age. It can be connected to your experience of your first period. It can be, the shame that comes with it. It can be how women in general show up in a world, the unfairness of, genders, between the genders, or thousands of years of programming of, woman is being a weaker, gender, or, it can be many things. It can be your family story, what women lineage of your mom, grandma, great-grandma went through in their lifetime, in relationships. It can be combination, of course, of all these things. What media says, what you should and shouldn't be, perfectionism, how we should look like, what kind of body we should have, all that kind of combined. It is often root of most hormonal imbalances as well. And we know if we are hormonally imbalanced, we snap very often, we get angry, we get tearful, we get emotionally unstable. That is actually preventing us from, having the joyful, peaceful kind of life that we really desire. It also, in that category, is also like how women, or how you stand up for yourself in various situations, and how women are, being treated in your family. It's kind of new definition of normal. So, example is like experiencing menstrual pain as something normal, and, going through it without consciously slowing down and paying more attention to our needs, like just kind of like hammering through like nothing is really happening, and that is also connected with that. And really is like about deep acceptance of everything that is going around you in terms of being a woman. So let me know if that makes sense, and also let me know for those of you who are suffering of any kind of inhormonal balance in the comments, or in my, as a personal message, whether this resonates, whether any of that is ringing the bell, and like, oh, this might be actually me. Number 2, you are misaligned with your parent-daughter relationship. It can be mother, it can be father, either of them. There can be actually 2 extremes, because many times my clients come to me and they say, not often, unfortunately, but many times they can, I had a great childhood. My parents are still together. They love each other dearly, and they love me so much. It won't be that. And it's really interesting, because it can be 2 extremes. Not many coaches are talking about this, because you could have had very, very good parents that they never argued, but it can be deep inside you. It can be kind of that feeling that you never measured up to them, or you've been literally suffocated with love. That's my case, in case of bless him, my daddy. Okay, he loved me so much, but I was literally feeling like this, suffocated. And that caused actually a lot of damage that I had to deal with, and I still sometimes have to deal with, you know, later stages in my life. But I felt it took me a long time to recognize this, because you know, I always, and I still love my dad, but it was so hard for me to admit that love can actually impact you this way, this kind of love. So but it was blessing, because I'm now being very conscious of giving space to my girls, because I have a tendency to do the same, you know, to kind of like suffocate them. But I am like, you know, when they tell me, Mummy, I want to, yesterday Eliana told me, Mummy, I want to sleep, don't touch me. Because sometimes they like me to scratch them and like, don't touch me. I respect that, you know, and I still want to kiss her, but you know, I now get that higher form of love is to give her space when she asks for it. Does that make sense? So, you know, when I say misaligned with your parent-daughter relationship, it means either that, you know, that has been classic misunderstanding, you know, between your parents, the mother had alcohol problems, or, you know, your mom, or anything like, you know, actual issues, or it can be, you know, too much of love, as I call it. Or toxic relationships. Number 3 is you're being misaligned because of trauma or abuse that you experienced in your life, and you are not able to kind of surrender. And I'm talking about, you know, love relationship with your partner, for example, as well. Surrender to love and partnership fully, because if we've been abused in the past in any kind of way, it can be mental abuse, that again doesn't show up, doesn't flag up unless you look deeper as an abuse. So it's important to look at it. If you had this kind of experience, it's going to impact you, because you are not going to be able to surrender fully. Yeah, like open yourself to love fully. There is going to, because you're not going to feel safe enough just because of this experience, if it's not going to be cleared up, this experience, and then you are able to embrace and open up to love. And that pays a lot of that seem to create a lot of problems in intimacy between the partners as well, that then can lead to infertility problems also. Yeah, because one more thing I say on that the key to birth or creation is actually to surrender. I say it again because it's really quite important. The key to creation of anything is to surrender. And number 4 is you're misaligned with your boundaries. Now, we all know what the boundaries are. So you either didn't set your boundaries, or you have a boundaries but you don't follow through. You know what is too much, but you don't actually communicate it, or don't communicate it effectively enough so people know. Okay. It's very common that women come to me with nigh on burnout from work, and they see baby as a, you know, get me out of this bloody place, as a ticket. But really, they are working till the very last moment, wanting to have maternity leave and, you know, practical things behind it, and to secure, you know, financially for the baby. But really, the very same thing that is, you know, they are trying to provide for the baby is holding them back to have a child, because of long hours, because of, you know, the mindset and the belief that they need to do it this kind of way. There is no other way, and really fear from doing a different way and changing something in your life. So, you know, boundaries can be too loose, that you don't have a filter, or carry other people's issues even. You know, like if you have a friend who is, you know, calling you always, you know, feeling down and depressed, and you feel like as a good friend you should be supporting and listening to her, and, you know, you're doing it even though you really need or to do something else, or you would like rather to watch the TV or sleep, you know, when it's getting too much for you, but you feel like being a good friend, being a good person, it should be there for you. That's also not able to, you know, kind of set the healthy boundaries for your friendship, for example. And also, you know, like, it's, if you don't have a boundaries, if you're expanding too much energy, that is, you know, that means that you're going against yourself. There is no chance to, you know, carry the baby inside you, because baby really needs your attention, your energy, your, all of you really, and there is no space in this kind of circumstance for a baby creation, or, you know, carrying the baby all the way. And number 5 is misaligned. You're being misaligned with yourself, you know, it's very deep one. Not every woman is aligned to be a mum, you know. Now society is pushing her to do that. I had a woman who, you know, didn't even realize that it's not really what she wants, because not every woman wants to be a mum, not every woman meant to be a mum, right? Like, I had a clients who realized during the coaching process that I thought that what I want is a baby, but actually what I want is just to be free, you know, just to live my life happy and have more love in my life, you know, but not necessarily through the baby. And she discovered it, you know, throughout the process, where she realized, I realized that it was more like society pushing me to have a baby because I'm 39, whatever. Yeah. You can be a dog mom, you know, it's also, you know, mom. You can be mom of all of the children. You can have a, you know, like charity that you contribute to, or, you know, give your time to. It's also, you know, form of motherhood, and very beautiful one. You know, someone is taking care of whole family. I had a lot of friends who, you know, are the kind of connector of the family, and I'm one of them. And that's also motherhood alone, you know, talking about being a mom. So these are the 5 ones. So now, as we are coming towards the end of this streaming, and let me know if this is being useful to those of you on the journey towards motherhood, but maybe also to some of you who just started listening, and it gave them some insights, because I think it's very fruitful talk. I want to go, so if you're struggling with infertility, or something is off in your life in general, and you can't put the finger on it yet, maybe these kind of questions, and you can feel free to write them down. I might also put them in the comments if you like. Here are the questions that you can use as a starting point for you to kind of get moving with this on your own. And then if you would like me to support you further, I'm absolutely here to give my time. At least we can talk about what else is possible for you. So number 1, is the deepest source of my infertility spiritual? And when you're asking these questions, by the way, I urge you to find some clear, calm, peaceful space. You can go into meditation, and then after you finish your meditation, you can ask these questions. That's where or you can ask these questions inside the meditation. That is also very good. Second question is the deepest source of my infertility physical? And if you are not dealing with infertility or something else, you can, you know, swap the words and use not infertility but something else, of my sadness or of my frustration, or whatever you're dealing with that you find is causing a problem in your life right now. Number 3 is the deepest source of my whatever, infertility, emotional. Number 4 is the deepest source of my, name the problem, mental. Number 5 is the deepest source of my, name the problem, and essence. Okay? Look for the yes that is going to come from within. Okay? So, for some insights, for anything that might come literally from nowhere, that will be your inner knowing. Because it's there, but, you know, listen. Just be open. Don't expect anything specific. Just be open and listen what captures your attention. Okay? What one of these questions, and ask yourself out loud, or being deeply connected in your meditation, ask yourself those questions. So listen for also things that intrigues you. What kind of question intrigues you? It's like, something that will call you in different words. If there is no clear yes, it's okay. Like, start just exploring and go to the kind of deeper, allow yourself to go to the deeper roots of it. Okay? So, yeah, hopefully this was beneficial for you guys. Let me know if any of this caught your attention. If you feel like you would like to explore this with someone's help, that, you know, you feel that it would benefit you, I absolutely recommend it. It's amazing journey. You can explore, you can hear, and most importantly, all this journey is going to be beneficial for you in such a way that is actually going to guide you to so much more freedom, to so much more joy and happiness, and just kind of spontaneous feeling good of being alive. I think that's what people miss a lot. Like, you know, living everyday life, just being routine. And if mums are watching, you know what I'm talking about. It's so easy to slip into that, you know, and I want us to feel alive. I want us to feel good. I want us to feel, I don't know, like, find any excuse to enjoy and celebrate life. I think this is what the life should be really about. Like, because it's our own right to be happy, to be, you know, whatever we are dealing with, whatever stage we are. That's what I'm a big ambassador for this one. So anyway, let me know whether you like the streaming, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I will speak to you soon on Friday. We are on my personal page. We are going to be streaming again. I will be without Susanna, so I will be alone. I will need some water, and we will be talking about secrets of communication, my juicy subject. So yeah, join us at 1 o'clock Slovak time, 12 o'clock UK time if you want, this Friday on my personal profile. I will be very happy to see you there. For now, it's all from me. Have a great rest of the day.